Hey everybody, it's your girl Asia. We are here today together. Let's join hands in prayer. I'm just kidding. We are here today to do an eyebrow tutorial for you guys. But we are doing an eyebrow tutorial, a real deal one today on these brows right here. I'm so excited because I've recorded an eyebrow tutorial a couple times and it was blurry, it wasn't in focus. It was a lot of different things that have happened. And I feel like today is the day that I get it right. These lashes are cute, but they give me like a lot vibes. All right, sorry, back to the eyebrows. But yeah, we are doing these brows today, y'all. But if you are interested in getting these wonderful brows that I have been doing on my face for 10 plus years, then just keep on watching the video. Okay, so let's run through a product list of what you're gonna need to do your brows. So typically I like to use some type of eyebrow pencil, a concealer, concealer brush, of course, and maybe some type of matching eyebrow powder to set that pencil, because pencils are cream based. So if you want it to really last and not sweat off, you want to make sure you put a powder on top, just like when you set your makeup, right? I'm gonna let you know what I use, but you can use whatever you want to use because this video is not sponsored. So my one that I really love, I tried it out. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I've used it all up, all gone, done for. But this is that one, the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. Hold on, fingernails in the way. It has a spoolie on the end and then the thin pencil on the other end, which is top tier eyebrow pencil. Okay. Anastasia Beverly Hills also has one as well, but it's like $25 or so, and it just doesn't last that long for it to be that much. So I think I put it in one of my other videos, but the dupe that I found for both of those, because Benefit isn't cheap either, is this NYX. I don't know if you say NYX or NYX, but been around for a long time, and this is a dupe for both of those companies. It also has a spoolie and the pencil on the end. The first thing that I do is, one, make sure, like my hair is out the way or whatever. More than likely, when I do my brows, it's when I like lay my edges, so I have a scarf on and all of that. So normally it's not like this. But first thing you want to do is brush your brows up. Brows don't have to be perfectly arched, threaded, waxed, whatever, razor. They don't have to be. I did use the razor on mine yesterday just to clean it up. And I recorded a video of putting lip tint on my brows yesterday, which I will be uploading, or which is already uploaded, I think. If it's uploaded, it'll be up here for you to see that video and check it out. So after you brush your brows up to where you want them to go, there's also one other thing that I'm missing that I needed to show you guys. A brow setter. So this is the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit, and pretty much it's just what it says it is. It's a brow setter. So like a brow gel. You can use clear mascara for it as well to do that, get the same effect. But that's what it is. It's a brow setter. Yes. So the pencil looks like this. It's very thin, and it's perfect for getting in the nooks and the crannies. I typically start on the ends of my brow, because that way I can get it filled in, like, I guess you could say really good. I don't know. Just kind of get the basis of the shape that I need from the back of my brow. The front of my brow is just kind of feathered and wispy, so I'm not really focus on any shape or define anything for the front of my brow. But we're just going to start and go like this. And this is literally my brow routine. Anytime I go out, anywhere I go, a party, whatever, this is what I do. It has changed over the years. If you know me, you've seen me, you've seen my brows, you know what I'm working with. And you know how long I've been doing them. A very long time. Do I want to insert pictures of how my brows used to be, bruh? Yeah. I don't even want to say like how they used to be, like, because my brows, honestly, for the time period of when like brows came out and people were like enhancing their brows, they've been doing this for a long time, right? They just been doing this for a long time. Okay, so let's be very clear. They've been doing it for a very long time, like way before I was even thought of. Like, I've been doing it since 2011, and I've really been doing it every year since then. My pictures are going to stop about 2020 or so because my eyebrows, in my opinion, they've stayed the same since then. Maybe more, a little less, but not too off from what you're seeing. But as you can see, I've always been pretty good at shaping and doing and filling in my own brows. So that's why this video is for you, girly. Look at your girl in 2019. Okay. I like those brows. This is probably my least favorite brow, but it's okay. I was still cute. But as far as like how popular it became, I don't know what or who we can owe that credit to, but when they became popular, I was pretty much a guru at doing the brows. My brows always got noticed everywhere I went. I remember when I used to work in Cumberland Mall and do makeup there, and I think probably my brows got me hired. More than likely, because honestly, that's what everybody wanted me to do for them when they would come to the store, is do their brows. So yeah. That's what I do. That's my stilo. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at so many other things, but brows is one of them. And it's because I know how to make them look natural, okay? All right, so first thing, I get them all in the shape. I don't know what you want to call it. I get them in the way that I want them to be, okay? Fluff the front out, blend it out, I guess you could say, because you don't really need too much color deposited up here. You just want it to be a little bit. Now you see, because my hairs are so dark, like me filling that in really didn't do anything, because it was just like my hairs are so dark. You could still see like the skin through my hairs. And that's not what I like. I like my brows to be, fully full. So another thing that I like to do is, you don't have to do this. I don't recommend you doing this unless you have a light hand and you can blend very well. If you can't really blend that well, I don't recommend. But as I was saying before, if you are not a very good blender, I don't recommend you using black. Now, I'm not using a black pencil. What I do is I'll get a angled brush like this. Angled brush. And I will pretty much take my setting spray. Oh my God. Don't play with me, Morphe. Do not play with me. I just bought you. But I'll take my setting spray and put it on here on the brush. And then I will get a black eyeshadow. This is a horrible palette. Not a horrible palette. The palette is fine, but the condition of the palette, don't damn judge me. I've had it for so long. It's just eyeshadow. So, I get the setting spray on the brush. I get some of that black eyeshadow. And pretty much exactly where you see the negative space, right there I mean, if you had my brows, you would probably want it to be hair right here, just because it seems like it's missing and it doesn't allow me to have like a real arch. So where you see the negative space, I will just take the black and go like this and fill it in. There are so many things you can use to do this part and achieve this part, but this is what has worked for me over the years. And it stays, it's buildable, and it just doesn't look too bad, if that makes sense. Because when you use black and your hair is not that dark, you look really scary. Even sometimes when I sorry, but even sometimes when I use too much of the black, it just does too daggone much. So the only places that I typically use the black is up under my brow, like right there where you see me just kind of going like this. And the back, the arch and the ends. That's it. I don't use it for the front or anything like that because it's just too dark. You can already see the difference between this brow and this brow with me just doing that. And I didn't do a lot. See? So let's go ahead and move on to the other brow. I need some more setting spray on my brush. That setting spray smells so good, Morphe. Wow. If you want to know what I'm using, this is the Mini Continuous Setting Mist by Morphe. It smells great. I've had it before. I had the big one because I was just like, it was for my whole face, of course. But we're dipping back into the black here on our brush. And mind you, my hair is naturally gonna settle right here, right? It just is. And even sometimes when I put the brow gel on there, it'll still settle like that. So then we still have this negative space that I wish had hair. And some of you guys are probably like, oh, Asia, you can just microblade. Girlfriend, boyfriend, no, okay? It's not always for everybody. It's really not. And I mean, yeah, I've thought about it, but it's just not for everybody. And I'm the type of person that, boy, I'll tell you, if I get up off of that bed and I am not satisfied with what you have done to my face, to my brows that I have to deal with for the next however long, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be real freaking upset. And that's all I could say, especially if I could see it instantly. I'm gonna be upset because my mother got her eyebrows done and I wasn't really a fan of them because I felt like the lady did them too wide for my mother's face. Like it was just too wide. She did say they were gonna fade out, and they did. It just took a while, so it was something for me to get used to. And I felt bad because, you know, like I said, they got them done and she had to have them. I don't know if they're permanent or what. I can't even remember right now if they're permanent or she got to go get them redone later. But I was just not happy with what the lady did. Okay, so here we are. These are just some raw, uncut, no concealer brows. I wanted to really build the hair, make it look like it's, you know, full. You could just go like this if you wanted to. That's not really my vibe any day. I prefer to actually fill it in. I mean, carve it out with the concealer. But, yeah. So, this is what I'm doing now, the next step. I am pretty much brushing up the hairs now because I'm going to be using the eyebrow gel shortly. Okay. So I'm seeing that I still need like a little bit more in here, because when I made that line up there, it kind of just, I could see it in the middle of my brow. So, all right. So now that that's on, okay, I have a brown from this Nika K. If you go to the beauty supply store, you've heard of Nika K probably if you use the makeup. But it's just a duo contour palette. It's a mess. I've had like 2 of these, but this one has broken. And they have a light brown and a dark brown. And I typically will go in on this dark brown and just like come up here in the front. And my brush is facing this way, up and down, y'all, not to the side. It's up and down, because this is kind of like the width of the brow. But you see how it just kind of browns it up there, and it doesn't make it too dark. Because you don't want to just do something to the back of the brows and nothing to the front. And again, at this stage, it's okay if they look wild and bushy and all over the place. That's kind of what you want, because when you clean it up, it's gonna be even nicer, if that makes sense. All right, so we are brushing these brows up, up and through, up and through. I have watched so many brow tutorials in my lifetime, and I pretty much give the credit to all the girlies that I've watched over the years. And if I can remember some of them off the top of my head, a favorite person of mine that I used to watch her do her brows, like, oh my God, I used to just watch her videos, period. If I can remember, All Things Fabulous, I believe. Yeah. All Things Fabulous. She was definitely my go-to brow girl. I was just like, this girl knows how to do some brows. You know, she always made them look so fluffy, kind of like how Beyonce's look. You know what I mean? And I love that. So here we are with our brow gel, the Benefit. And the Benefit brush is like, it's plasticky, I think, and it's like flat, but then it's wide. So I typically take the bristles that are on this side right here, or just the sides in general. So this side or that side, I don't use it flat. I take the bristles and try to like brush my hairs to where I want them to be. And then I flip it and use the product that's on the other end. And for the front, I really try to bring my hairs like forward. Like so. Okay. And we're gonna go back into here. And we're gonna do the same to the other side. Literally like combing these things up, 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 up. And I know another thing, some of you are probably gonna be like, why don't you cut them things down? Because I want the hair. I want them to be here. I want there to be hair. So while that is like, I guess you could say drying, I'm gonna use the fan. But while it's drying, slowly but surely, I don't like to do this part immediately, because it will it'll just make them settle back to where they were before, and I don't want that. So I let them get a little dry, and then I will go like this, just to put those hairs down that were up at the top. There we go. Just to put them down a little bit. Okay, and then I just let them finish out drying. So honestly, at this point, I'm like, if you don't want a concealer, you can take like a makeup wipe and just kind of clean the excess eyeshadow up around, and you'll probably be okay. Honestly, especially if your foundation of your brows is this good or looks like this, You'll be fine. Okay. But we're just going to go ahead and do the whole 9 today and clean up. If you see this right here, I scratched myself. Let it go. Mind your business. All right. I used to be a big fan, and I still am because I mix it in with my makeup still. But the LA Girl Pro Conceal, I have almost, let me just show you here. Yeah, I have a lot of the colors for the brown skin girls here. But yeah, when I was on a budget, I'm still on a budget. But when I was on a big budget, I was on a real big budget. That was my go-to. Now it's funny. Now, like I got money or something. But now I really use my Fenty. It just works really well. I will say that for my brows though, I'm gonna go back to using my LA Girl Pro Conceal because I like the consistency is a little thicker and more opaque. And this does better with like covering the things I need to cover. And I don't really need to cover anything on my eyebrows. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna go back to using the Pro Conceal for sure. And what I typically do is I find that color that I just want to use that day. We are going to do the traditional, carve it out a little lighter at the bottom, and use our skin tone for the top part. So let's see. I'm looking between these two. And it's gonna be this one. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but it'll be this one right here. That looks better. And that color is called Warm Sand. It kind of has like a olive tone under it for me. And it's hard. Sometimes my skin looks like I have yellow undertones. Sometimes it looks like I have olive undertones. I'm black. That's the extent of what I know. I'm a brown girl with brown skin. Okay. Oh, sorry. Brush that I'm using. I saw this brush at Kroger. I think I got it at Kroger years ago. You can get this brush at Kroger. It's a dual brush like this. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be for putting on like foundation and concealer, but I love how rounded this end is. It's kind of flat. It's fluffy now because it's clean, but if it had makeup in it, it would be a little more compacted. But we want to get some on the edge there. And I typically find I'm like holding my hand a little bit, like my elbows are on my table, and I'm kind of bracing my hand with my other hand so that way I can have some stability. And let me make sure I'm over here so you guys can see very well, and so I can see too. And you just want to go in and softly underline the eyebrow, okay? Interesting. Okay. My phone was about to die. Couldn't let that happen to y'all. So, back to it. We're just gonna carve it out up under here. Like I said, I did my brows yesterday, so it's pretty smooth under here. The smoother it is, the easier your brush will glide. You want your brush to glide smooth because you want that line to be clean. And if it's like, it's not gonna do what you want it to do, okay? This warm olive, you probably like, okay, this is a little too pale, girl. Again, I am trying to give me that highlight under the brow look. Everything else, it can be muted out, later. But I just want to give that highlight under the brow look. Go to the other eyebrow. make sure this is a little drying. I'm gonna spray some setting spray on my hand because it's just a little dry. I wonder, probably because I haven't used it in a while. But yeah, there we go. Much better. Moving much better. It was moving like primer. Y'all know how like matte primer is really dry but smooth. It's kind of hard to explain, but it was moving like primer. And I didn't want that. Now it feels like freaking silk. Okay. But you see how there's just a little bit, and I probably even did a little bit too much on this brow, but either way, there we go. So the brows are carved out. See that? I'll just blend that back some. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do our top. And the top, we're gonna stick to something that matches our skin tone perfectly. We could just go for the Fenty, but Toast, see that? Toast is pretty good there. So I'm gonna use Toast. I'm just gonna put it on the hand that I just, I'm just gonna put it on the hand that I put this, what's the name on with. Like, I had it like this. I'm just gonna put it on this hand, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend these two together. Like that. And you see how it just like down there disappeared in my hand? On my hand, yeah. So, blend these two together, and then I'm gonna go ahead and, I hope y'all can see, I'm sorry. Trying my best to make sure y'all can see. Boom. And I'm using a very like light and delicate hand to do this. Not heavy-handed at all, y'all, okay? Because you want it to be that easy when you are going down that line. You want it to be just like the tip of your brush is just cleaning it up, as if you were like trying to draw a picture and just erase the extra. Okay. That's a brow. That's a brow. That's a brow. All right. Let's go ahead with the other one. I need some more of this on here because it's not too light. It's fine. I just need some more. Okay. Now, I'm definitely not the makeup girly who covers up every single blemish. That's just, I don't know. I don't mind blemishes. I'm a human. Unless it's like really pissing me off. Like this right here, I would cover. But like this, I don't care. Little marks on my forehead, I don't really care. They still show through, they just don't show through, baby. I'll definitely have, like I said, a little bit of coverage, but it won't be too much. Okay, so these are blended. These brows are good. I do want to go in at the front here some and feather just a little more. And then you wipe. You don't want a unibrow. You feather and then you wipe, okay? And you keep feathering it. You keep bringing that color forward like that. You don't want a harsh line here at all. So you just want to make it like super faded, okay? like so. All right, so that's pretty much it for the brows for me. I would leave them right here and continue on with the rest of my face. I definitely am gonna spray the brows for sure because they gotta stay. If nothing else gotta stay, the brows gotta stay. Those are the brows. Been doing my brows this way for a very long time. Again, I really wanted to show you guys like the difference in the color and the carving, so probably looks a little intense on camera, I'm not sure, but it's really not that bad in person. It's just a little highlight. It's really, really good actually. I decided to put on lashes. Might as well just bring it all together. Bring the brows, the lip liner. Let's bring it all together. All right, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. I love doing my brows, you know, because I feel like I can do them pretty good. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope that I was, you know, detailed enough so that way you guys can achieve the brow look that I have. I will say the oldest thing in the book is brows are what? Do y'all know? Y'all know the saying. Brows are sisters, not twins, okay? Because they're never gonna be perfect. I know mine probably look pretty damn good right now, but just looking directly straight into my mirror, I can see that this one is a little bit higher. You know, like they're not gonna be perfect. And I don't care that if they're not perfect. I will say that I try my best to get them to look as close as possible because why do you want to have like two different brows on your face? Like, no, sir. But yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you want to see more, please let me know. Drop a comment in the comment box. I haven't done a makeup look in so long, like an actual full face eyeshadow and makeup look in a while. And I don't even know if I'm really into eyeshadows and things much anymore. But I will be happy to do something for you guys if you want to see it. For now, check out some of these products. This video is not sponsored. These are just some of my staples that I have had and been using for a very long time, okay? However, NYX, if you want to send me a couple brow pencils, please do. Anastasia Beverly Hills, please do. Benefit, please do. Send them my way, because your girl gonna do her brows, okay? As always, if you enjoyed and liked the video, and if you are feeling the vibe, first of all, did I forget my outro? I did. As always, if you are feeling the vibe, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.